Is Crimea lost at this point?
Look, that is, it is, we are putting as much pressure on the Russians as we can to do the right thing. We have given them the opportunity and the path to de-escalate and get this in the right place because they know that there are costs to their action here. The costs are economic. The Russian economy, the Russian stock market, and the ruble are at 5-year lows. Russia is isolated in the world. You saw that in the UN Security Council yesterday. And the more they escalate, the longer this goes, the greater those costs will be.
So if Crimea votes to become part of Russia, there's still a concern that there might be an attempt to move into eastern Ukraine, maybe even militarily move into Crimea further. Do you think that's going to happen, starting with Crimea?
Well, first, as it relates to the referendum,
yeah.
As we've said, this referendum is in violation of international law. The United States is not going to recognize the results of that referendum. And we are working with our partners around the world, the Europeans in particular, to marshal forces against the Russians to put pressure on them in the form of sanctions. And the president has signed an executive order last week that gives him the authority to do this. And you can expect sanction designations in the coming days.
If there is a move militarily into the rest of the Ukraine, how important is it from the president's point of view to arm Ukraine, to send military aid to Ukraine to be able to protect itself?
Supporting the new Ukrainian government in every way possible is the top of our priority list. We're looking at all ways of assistance, and we're going to keep talking to Ukraine.
But would the president call on Congress to pass more military aid for Ukraine?
We are calling on them right now to pass economic aid for Ukraine. There's a bill that came out of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee just last week. They should do that, and we're going to keep working this as much as we can.
Is eastern Ukraine the new red line here?
What we have to do here, everything the Russians have done this far has been in violation of international law and bad for peace and stability in the region and bad for the Russians. And President Putin has a choice about what he's going to do here. Is he going to continue to further isolate himself, further hurt his economy, further diminish Russian influence in the world, or is he going to do the right thing?